All right. Well, if people are chiming in, hello. This is a semi-special edition of GBC Live. Hopefully, Vic and Bill will be hopping in here any moment now. This is not a typical episode because this is supposed to be a conversation about our course, and now Bill's in.
Hey, Bill.
Jeez. Bill, if you can ride half as good as your hair looks, you're going to be in great shape for Saturday.
Yeah, that's actually what I'm counting on.
Well, I'm glad we got that covered, and hopefully Vic will hop in here at any moment. But yeah, and we've got Troy here because basically he's the agent of chaos. So I think whatever plan that we have for Saturday, I think he can talk against. And I think, Bill, you are the voice of reason, and Sam, you're the voice of apathy. So
okay. I clicked this link by mistake and I ended up here. So.
Yeah. So I want to go over the course, and I don't know if you know if you guys saw the messages earlier, but I am switching up our route a little bit, and I'll bring it up. It looks like it's.
I just want to be clear. I am not riding whatever route you've chosen.
I wouldn't expect you to. There's no way you're a conformist.
Zach, can you make it clear? Are you doing the LA Tourist race for the first time?
Am I doing it? Oh, yes. Am I finishing it?
You're going to be there on a bike and starting it.
Yeah. Oh, I'll be there. Remember how I always just go ahead?
Yeah, you're always there. So I'm saying you're going to be there.
You're always there.
The race.
Yeah, I'm always there. I grab a donut away from one of you deserving people. So yeah. Oh wow, we got people from Bakersfield too. So cool. Yeah. Well, first of all, I suggest if you're on this live stream, go ahead and check the video we posted yesterday. Like I said, I'm probably going to update the route along the way. And yes, we did update the route. And so we're going to discuss that. Troy's a lone horse, so we didn't expect him to be along the ride. But Vic, Bill, and Sam and I were going to try and do this as the four amigos. So
I don't want to slow you guys down, being the anchor like I did Sam the other day. So I'll let you guys make your bad decisions by yourself, and I'll do it on my own.
Troy, are you going to use a mountain bike or a gravel bike?
I am riding a mountain bike for one sole reason.
What?
Is that I have no fitness and I need to spin as much as humanly possible. And my mountain bike has a 32 in the front. Yeah. And my gravel bike is a 42. So. Well, slow on the pavement, even slower on the climbs.
But on the descents?
On the descents, no brakes.
You'll be flying by those skinny tire dudes.
I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of cross traffic. There's going to be a lot of two-way traffic on some of these, so I don't think the descents will be that fast anyways.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing I didn't bring up, and I better try and find mine because I very rarely use it. I switch between bikes, is a bike bell. Especially when we go on the downhills, because there are a lot of out and backs, or just, even on certain trails, some people might go one way, some people might go the other way. Oh, I hope I can add Vic while I have this weird angle. Yes. How's it going, Vic?
I put my timber bell on, so it'll be active most of the day.
Zach, sorry, people are asking, what's the easiest way to tune in and watch this to get a link for this?
I would say on YouTube, because on YouTube you can comment a lot better. On Instagram, for some reason, it didn't launch after it put me through. Oh, look, here, we're on Instagram now. Took a while for that to go. Instagram, you cannot comment. Facebook, you can comment, but you can't see your name. So, yeah, bike bell, a good point. I think it's obvious to people, whether you're a super good rider, that you need to bring a light. Something happens. Troy, you bring a light, right?
Yes, I was on mute. Sorry. Yes, lights are, I would say, mandatory for this one. Like no joke. For some reason, Mike thinks people are going to be finished by 2:30. I think that's going to be Kent by himself. For the rest of us mere humans, lights are going to be essentially after 4:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 o'clock,
Sure.
4:15 over in the canyon over there. It's dark, or it's close to getting dark. So,
Vic and Bill, when you guys finished that tourist race last year, you guys, that was, I remember the sun was going down. I believe it had to have been in February, correct?
You talking about the muddy one?
Yeah. Remember I saw you guys just going on the airport. I drove right by.
Oh yeah, you drove. It wasn't dark yet, and I don't think we didn't have lights with us. I don't think I had any lights.
No, we didn't have lights, but that one wasn't not as long as this one.
Yeah, that one wasn't as difficult.
Not even
It
as
was only
close.
Yeah, it was just the mud.
The mud was hellacious, and Troy had finished an hour before us. So
I was going to say that one I wasn't even close to dark. I didn't think I would be close to dark. This one, I have a feeling it may be dark.
Okay.
And I think the last one there was maybe 8K, 8.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a different beast.
this is a whole nother level. Hopefully there won't be the mud though. The mud was the big.
That was.
I mean, it broke my bike.
Yeah, I had to get a
You
new
guys were on
bike.
mountain bikes too, right?
It tore my chainstay protector off, and then we couldn't roll. The tires got so clogged up we couldn't roll. We had to carry them and use sticks.
Sounds like a
and
bad route.
grass. Well, I think we were using your route, Troy.
No way.
Well, you couldn't avoid the mud. The mud was the last section was just.
No, you could have taken the trail that we have a book on. You could have taken that down and gotten out with no mud on that trail.
Oh, well, we took the wrong way then.
Well, there was a kid that tacoed his wheel, and he had rim brakes, and we got the wheel off and like bent it back into place. So that took a long time. So
That did.
we wouldn't have come in so far behind you if we had left that kid stranded.
Yeah, it would only been 45 minutes instead of an hour.
Yeah.
Now, I'm glad. I mean, I like Sam. I'm glad he's coming along, but I just want to know he also owns a Garmin InReach.
That's right.
Well, I'm charging you right now.
Yeah. So I mean, he's a nice person, but he also owns a Garmin InReach.
I got a new hydration pack. First of all, just I tried out with Troy last week. The Uswe. Am I pronouncing it correct, Troy?
Close enough for government
Uswe.
work.
I have one as well.
Yeah.
And then I just got
Pretty
today
standard issue.
the Garmin mount for it. For
nice.
For that, so it'll be on the strap, so it won't be bouncing around this time. And I'm wearing my Ornat thermal magic shell jacket, but then I also ordered
all the sponsors. Got to get all the sponsors.
I know.
Over here. Hold on.
No discounts on any of this. I didn't have time to get like a better jacket, but I bought this on Amazon for like $30. Just came today, and it's for runners. So the whole front has like the puff on it, but the back and the sides are kind of breathable, and it's got fleece inside. So I'll probably bring this along or something.
That's probably fitting for this one since there'll be plenty of foot time.
Yeah, so we'll see. I hate getting cold. I'd rather have more gear and be too prepared than cold. So
Do you think there'll be a lot of hike-a-bike?
I think Condor, depending on your route on Condor, will have inevitable hiking, and then you will have to walk up. I don't know which position you have it in, but I think it was second to last, maybe last now on your books. There is a hike-a-bike if you start from the bottom and you don't come from the top.
Okay. Well, let's bring this up, our route, and this is what I had presented yesterday, and it came out to 86 miles. how do I command all this? Here we go. 86 miles. And we just kind of headed directly east. But Brandon, who just said hello on here, I saw his route today, which actually cuts down about 4 miles. And initially, because like his looked like it was, because he posted it on Strava, it was like about 400 feet more than the one I had. But I had put the route up on Ride with GPS. So once I took his Strava file, threw it into Ride with GPS, now it's about 500 feet shorter. So I think that this is our route now. And basically what we're doing is the last checkpoint is now the first checkpoint, and then we'll continue on counterclockwise. And I know, some people, and I don't know if this was your plan, but obviously there's a couple options getting to checkpoint 1. You could be more direct, kind of heading up, along DeBell through Stowe Canyon and then dropping in to Latuna Canyon Trail right off of Latuna Canyon. But I think that's a lot of work. There's a lot of people up there. But I've never done this trail before. I've seen it many times climbing Latuna, but
I've done this trail. I used to maintain this trail in the 2010 to 2014 time period, and I'm starting from the top.
Okay.
Because it's not fun. It's not that it's not fun. It's gonna be kind of funky going up it. Actually, I think I've only gone up it once in my entire doing it. Probably.
Up it? You mean up it from Latuna Canyon Road?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have always gone down, other than one time when I was carrying about, I don't know, 60 pounds worth of wood, because there used to be a huge tree down there, and we built a big ramp thing to go over it. Anyways, it's gonna be this. There's gonna be a lot of traffic on this one. I have a feeling this is gonna be a heavily trafficked at the beginning of the race. So,
well, I mean, part of the thing is, I don't have the line drawn that goes up to the top of Verdugo here, but
it's right on that ridge, right there in the middle of your screen.
Oh, Lord. Okay, so look at it. It's so steep.
No, it circles back, and it's not that steep.
It shows it's about 550 feet. I had it wrong in the graphic I had up earlier, for about 2/3 of a mile. So that's about 800 feet of gain per mile. And whether going up it or going down it, like, it just sounds like a big challenge. I don't know.
Either way, it's the one of the easiest checkpoints we have. So it's not one to fret over too much. It's whether you want to get off the main road and start on dirt right away, or if you want to go all the way around and climb up it.
Okay. GBC Brain Trust, how are you feeling on this?
I'm going to go with Troy's recommendation.
Yeah.
He's done it countless times, so why not? I mean, he knows what to do.
I'll go with Troy.
From where the book is, that section of the trail is by far the easiest section. I would not recommend anyone going the direction you have here and then trying to go up to Stowe to like finish or something. That would not be. I wouldn't recommend
that.
What about just going up and back from Latuna Canyon? I mean, it's only like a mile, right?
I think it's maybe a little more than a mile. It's not.
It's a mile and a half.
Yeah.
So how bad is that? Just riding up and then back down?
It's not. It's just. It's very narrow. It's not like really badly exposed. It's just very narrow, and there's going to be a lot of traffic. So it's going to be, I have a feeling, very slow, with downhill people taking their priority like they normally try to, even though they're not supposed to.
Okay, gotcha.
So, but there is a little, if you the direction you have it here, there is a slight little downhill, which is an uphill on your way back out.
Yeah, I saw it's like about the first mile is a climb, and then it kind of dips and goes back up. I think it averages to be 7% for that first mile.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I still vote for, because if we go over, I mean, we're all familiar with that climb by DeBell and how it gets to be double digits, even though it's paved in the high double digits. That's a lot. So I still vote going the longer way around. Any seconds?
The long way around, I have been back and forth on it, but then I came to the conclusion that this is the least of my worries. And if I just go up and over, it's, to me, the simplest plan, because I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of traffic on this bottom section, and it'll be slow both ways then. But I climb the DeBell climb often enough, and it is what it is.
All right, this is a bad idea. I'm not feeling any better.
So that one doesn't really matter. I think doing that book first, though, is the right decision for whoever made that decision for you guys.
All right. Well,
because doing that last doesn't make any sense to me. But
okay,
do whatever you'd like. That's the best part. You can change your mind halfway through.
All right. Well, you're going on a mountain bike. You don't have good fitness, and you're probably riding an e-bike anyway. So
I should. I don't. What? My e-bike doesn't have a motor. Oh,
Troy's being very modest. We rode together last weekend, and on a very tough trail, and Troy did very well. So he's being very, very modest.
Yeah.
I only had to walk 3/4 of it, not all of it.
Exactly.
Well, so basically here we're cutting through Montrose. We're kind of following was the Love Ride to Barry Wolf ride, and then kind of cutting across Foothill. I think Brandon made a smart move here because I hate riding Foothill plus getting up to it. And then, we hit the park at about mile 20, and the fire station in Mount Lucans is at about mile 38. So I think somewhere in here is a good spot to grab water. And I've actually never grabbed water at this park, but I'm going to probably...
Which park is this? I can't see on the...
Oh, I can't pronounce its name. It's the...
Is it Hahamunga?
Yes.
Down? I think, yeah, there's water there.
Yeah, I don't know exactly where. I know there's a sports field down here, and the route I have just kind of goes along the edge. But I know if you just go down, it'll add a few feet to the sports field, and then just cut across here to JPL. That'll be a refill, because I want to carry as little fluids as possible off the start, knowing that I can refill early. So, I want to go with I'm going to carry 4 bottles, but, I just want to fill up 2 till this point, and then maybe go with 3 just to be safe till we hit the fire station. But
it does start at 7 a.m., so it's going to be fairly
7 a.m.
7 a.m. just to give everyone the heads up. So it's going to be chilly, less likely to be, really hot.
Okay, that's good to know. I thought it was at 8 a.m.
Me too. It's going to be really cold at 7.
Yeah, it's going to be freezing.
Yeah, but it also gives you an extra hour of sunlight. So
yeah, that's a good point.
Wow. When did you enter the glass half full debating club?
I'm looking for it. I would start at 6:15 if I could.
All right. Well, the way we have going up to what's now checkpoint 2 for us is the Fern Truck Trail, which we've done a few times before.
That's the Brown Mountain one that you go up, and then people go the other way to go down El Prieto, right?
Yeah, I had on the video I said I was meant to mention the junction that's right here, and I didn't cut to the video. but this is the little part where you kind of turn up to go Brown Mountain. And I almost think that, no, honestly, I have not ridden this section before, but I have run it. And I kind of remember Brown Mountain kind of feeling a little bit more like a fire road than parts of the Fern Truck Trail.
So wait, so you get to the top of Fern Truck Trail. There's like that junction there where you can go, where it starts to go. If you go straight, you go down, and this goes to like the left, right?
Yeah,
Correct.
That's that one. Okay, I've never done.
Yeah,
this part.
and it is really steep from that junction. There, it's really steep for a really short distance, probably to that turn there, and then it's not bad at all. Honestly, that climb is pretty fast and easy, and we've done it in a tourist in the past, but. This whole Brown, Fern, all of this stuff is probably one of the most popular, single tracks in our area. So it is very busy on a Saturday morning. Right. So no matter which direction you're going, just be aware that the way that you're showing you're going back down will have a lot of traffic.
Now
just from regular people, not race traffic. I'm just talking about just regular people who are out riding their mountain bikes and trail running.
Okay. And I like this question here because Vic and Bill, you're both going to be on mountain bikes, right?
I thought I was going to ride my gravel bike.
I'm not decided yet. I mean, I keep going back and forth.
I'm on gravel because there's so much road. I think the mountain bike will slow you guys down.
I think a gravel bike is the way to go if you can turn over your gear on some of these really steep climbs. The only reason I'm riding a mountain bike is because I took my crank off and tried to put it on my gravel bike and it didn't fit. So I just need a smaller chainring and I don't have any, and I'm too lazy to do more bike surgery. So
boy, great to have
you. But I was pretty shattered after Sam and I rode. I don't think I've ridden since Sam. So
that was a tough ride, though. I mean,
I'm just looking to spin.
Okay. Well,
it's not a mountain bike. It's not like I need the mountain bike for any of this, really. Realistically, I think a gravel bike is perfectly adequate. But
so this is another big point of contention here is the Ken Burton Trail, which kind of weaves its way down and then kind of goes down by the river here. And if we take this down, before we talk about the Dark Canyon part, which is the way north to connect with Angeles Crest Highway, let's just assume we're going down the Ken Burton Trail versus going back to, we're trying to reach Mesa Ghoul, which is, this is south. So either we return the way we go or we go down Ken Burton and then connect down here. And I believe if we go this way, it is about 4 miles. If we backtrack and then come back up, it is 8 miles. But, the issue is, first of all, this is single track. It's a lot of switchback. Let's just assume we're not on mountain bikes, Troy. So
Ken Burton Trail is a slightly more advanced trail. I would say if you're not comfortable with single track, then the route you currently have is your better route. The other thing to consider is that section between the bottom of Ken Burton and Gould, or whatever it's called, Gould Mesa Campground, that has got about, it feels like 50 spots where you have to get off your bike.
Yeah, I did that with Eric last year, and that took forever just to get. We did the Gabrielino just to get even from that Paul Little picnic site, which was the checkpoint that one time, back to Gold.
There's a climb. There's a climb between the bottom of Ken Burton and Paul Little. That's pretty. It's a little butt kicker, but then after you get to Paul Little, which is where the waterfall and stuff is, it's an on and off your bike. Get wet, you're gonna have wet toes for sure. So doing the way you have is, unless you're doing Dark Canyon the way you have, might not be faster, but it'll probably be the more enjoyable riding your bicycle bit.
I agree with Troy. Having done this section, I think that the way Zack has it is the route that I'm going to go for.
Now, just for people that have been asking about the Dark Canyon portion, so the Dark Canyon would basically be going down Ken Burton, but instead of going down here, we're basically going to go up. And I can't even locate this trail.
It's right there. So it's in that little valley right in the middle of your screen, and then it turns back and it goes to that ridge where it looks like it's cut out. Right
Okay.
there.
So
No. Turn.
Oh, here?
Yeah. Yep. So it goes through that canyon, and then you can see a little line there comes up, and then it runs along next to that ridge.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I was looking at the times, and Sam, didn't you say like the fastest time for this 2 miles was like 47 minutes?
Yeah, we can.
Yes.
Here, I'll pull that up right now, and I'll tell you guys.
Yeah.
I have it pulled up, and Ethan and Tiffany have both done it yesterday and today.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them look like they walked most of it because their average speed is 2.9 miles an hour and 2.1.
Yeah, wow. Yeah.
With a time of about an hour. Each of them is about an hour and 10, an hour or so. So, but it's only an elevation gain of 1,000 feet. Where
this guy Jacob did it in an hour and 20 minutes today. That's a long time.
Yeah. So this, I guess, is some of the pictures. This is some of the pictures. Oh Lord.
It looks better than the last time I did it.
I vote for the route.
Yeah. So okay, so we are doing a public service here. Please, if you see.
So if you want to do a hike-a-bike, if you're okay with a hike-a-bike, if you're like Ken and you're just gonna run it out, that's the shorter route, and it will cut off the miles. I mean, if you go from the book you guys are just talking about up on the top of Ken Burton, and you take that to the next book, it's 7.5 miles. But if you do the way you guys have currently, it's 15.5.
Wow.
Yeah, I think the numbers, and plus, well, the other thing too is when you're looking at the big picture and having to get water, someone pointed out, if you take that up, well, you either have to go back down to the forest station there at Mount Lucans to get water if you're going to go over the Grizzly Flat Trail. So it's kind of, you still have to backtrack,
right?
If you get up there, which means you're also, yeah. So I mean,
if you're planning on stopping to get water, then yes.
Okay. Thank you.
I don't know. By then, are we going to need water? That's the question.
Well, I think so, because like really, if the route that we have now, if we're, you're not going to have water from the fire station for, is it 30 miles?
Mount Lucans all the way until you get to 7-Eleven, but you guys don't have your route going past 7-Eleven. So,
well, let's
Lucans to the end.
Well, let's just say for now that I think it is 40 miles the way that we have it. We'll talk about this a little bit more, but let's just say if we don't touch down in Sunland to Hunga area, that it's 40 miles. Either way, it's still going to be a long distance to go. So
it's one of those like game time choices where you get to the top of Ken Burton and you say, how much water do I have? And do I want to hike my bike?
Okay. So continuing on with the route that I think we're mostly going with, we go up Mesa Gould,
which is very steep as well. Just to be clear, it's kind of on and off paved and not, but it's very steep.
Yeah, I mean, you can go all the way back around, but I think even walking, you're saving time, and at least it'll be in much better condition than Dark Canyon.
Now, there is a trail between Dark Canyon and Mesa Gould that goes straight up to the fire station, and a lot of the mapping systems have you going up it. Do not.
Okay.
Do not do that one.
All right, good.
I had like 3 different map systems take you up that trail, and I did it a couple years ago on a LA Tourist. Not recommended.
Are you writing this down, Zach?
We have the route right here. We're sticking to the yellow line. Okay.
I'm just calling it out because other people may have it on their route, and that one is I would not do. I'd do Dark Canyon before I did that one.
Okay. We're not doing either.
Okay, good.
Okay. So Lucans we're all familiar with. There's in CJ was asking today where the water was, and I think I got the dot kind of like right here. I know there's a spigot on the side here and kind of along the right side, but at least
there's one next to the fence as well on the left side.
Yeah. So, that's right. There's one on the left. Yeah. So, the Mount Lucans fire station, pretty reliable, and you do have a choice here. I don't know if anyone's going to take it. Not the worst thing in the world. You could go up Mount Lucans Fire Road and then drop down to the checkpoint. It saves you a mile. It adds 100. It adds 100 feet of elevation. But I just think that it puts you in the red for longer. So my choice is to stay on the highway where it's paved, and then to climb up Hoyt Mountain until we get to Grizzly Flat, which we've done before, to what will be the 3rd checkpoint. Mm-hmm. Any issues there?
No.
All right. Good. So now we're cooking. So this is probably the biggest point that we don't have too much R&D so far is this Grizzly Flat Trail. This to Angeles Forest Highway here is exactly 5 miles. And I was checking the Strava times. I guess like the first 2.2 miles down the KOM is about 10 minutes. That's like 12, 13 miles per hour. Not super fast.
Jacob did it today. Do you see?
No.
Yeah, so Jacob did it today in 44 minutes. His
going
average
up or down?
Going down. His average was 3.1. So Jacob did a preview today. He did the Latuna checkpoint out and back from Latuna Canyon Road. He just went up the mile then back. And then he took your route basically all the way to JPL across Foothill. Then he went up. What's it called? Fern Truck Trail to Ken Burton. Then he came down Ken Burton, then went up the Dark Canyon, and then went up Hoyt Mountain and went down this Grizzly Trail.
Okay.
It took him how long to go down it?
He's at 7,000 feet just with that, and his moving time just for that. It looks like he started it at Let's Ride Cyclery. It was 8 hours and 46 minutes.
Holy shit!
Here, I don't know if I can pull it up here.
Here. What? Can you drop it in the chat?
Yeah, oh yeah, I probably can do that. Hang on.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, so he went down about 45 minutes, 3.1 miles per hour. I can't tell what type of bike he's on though. Is the only thing I can't tell. There's no pics or anything. Let me find this and send it in.
I would hope that. I mean, it looked like I had seen somebody that had done it in 35 minutes. That was a person that had the KOM.
Going down?
Huh? Going down, yeah. His total time was 35 minutes from the top to the bottom until he hit the highway. I don't know if there's
I was gonna say because the actual descent without the wash is significantly less than that.
Mm-hmm.
Should be.
Let's see. So yeah, I think we talked about whoever wants to try it to do a little recon for this part tomorrow.
I'll probably do that tomorrow. Yeah.
Troy, you were asking.
I'm always down.
Okay. Bill, Vic, will discuss. Anyways, but yeah, I think like that is like the biggest.
Just right into the thing. I'll have to get a notification or not.
But if we go around, if we backtrack, go around the highway, and this might be something for other people too. Is obviously you can get water. Clear Creek doesn't have water right now. Is that correct?
The Clear Creek fire station always has water, but Clear Creek little shelter pass place does not.
Okay. Yeah.
So you have to go to the fire station, and it's right in the middle, like right in the front. It's pretty easy to find.
Yeah. So just for people, if you do decide to go up the highway and then get onto Angels Forest Highway, I'm talking about is there's a Clear Creek shack here. It doesn't have water, but the fire station that's kind of like tucked away here.
And just there's people that like essentially live there and are sleeping there. So just try to be respectful and not like throwing your stuff all over the place, and otherwise you could ruin it for the people behind you.
Okay, well let's assume all goes well tomorrow. We try this out, and this is what we're sticking with. Then we've got the climb to what would be checkpoint number 4, Condor Peak.
How far, Zach, when you get down the Grizzly Trail, do you just cross Big Tahunga to get to the climb, basically? Can you zoom in more?
Yeah, I think the climb just starts like right kind of here. And
so it's literally across the street.
Yeah, so the ride with GPS wouldn't let me map it. And you could see the squiggly line was me going up it, and then the straight line here was me giving up and just saying, I'm not going to click 500 dots to try and get the path. But, I know the low lives that worked on this, and, Michael Askew, I was asking him on some recon, and I know this little spot here. Now, there's 2 ways of getting to Condor Peak. One is, I guess there's more of an official trailhead over here.
Yeah, and the way you have mapped is a bit more of a hike-a-bike.
Yeah.
For real short little canyon drop in, and then you climb back out of it. But once you get to that point, kind of where your mouse just was, then it's on the normal trail. So if you're coming from the other side, you should enter it earlier because it is easier.
Okay. But I just figure for us, because I kind of mapped it out, because we were going to do this on Sunday, but it was too windy. And the smart move was
not for 2 of us here, but let me just say.
Not for some of us mere mortals.
Yeah. I didn't see you guys recon this part.
We'll talk about that later.
Okay. But I'm just saying,
Anchor Troy was going so slow that we didn't have enough time.
So, but basically going this way, I mean, like, even though I mapped it out, it's about 1/3 of a mile to go from this way, rather than going all the way. Now it's about like, I guess like it's 2 miles, believe it or not, to get to the trailhead here, and then to take the trail back. So you're adding 3.5 miles. So even if you have to walk this whole distance, I'm pretty sure it's going to be faster. And then, it's about a 5K up to checkpoint number 3. And, like you said, I imagine it's an out and back. So we'll be coming across a lot of other riders along the way. So no way to really, really book it there. But just got one of those.
From Big Tahunga, how many is it? 4 miles up?
From here, it's 3 miles up.
So it's 3 miles up. Okay.
It's lower than the last time we had a book in the middle. We had 2 books on Condor on one race, and this is still below the lower of the 2 books that we had.
I mean, how bad is it, Troy? Like is it doable on a gravel bike?
Going up is going to be pretty miserable on any bike, and going down, it's a narrow trail. It's got a lot of exposure, and there's going to be a lot of traffic because everyone is essentially going up and down it.
So you're screwed on whichever bike you're on, basically.
Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of traffic going up that'll probably be walking. Traffic going down can ride. If you're a proficient technical mountain biker, you can probably ride down it on a gravel bike. But there are some sketchy points where a lot of people will get off.
Is it going to be like that trail that we did, that one tourist race that was off of Mount Low, the Tom Sloan?
No, this is more exposure.
Wow, because that was pretty. Remember
More
Vic?
exposure than
Remember
that?
Vic?
No
That was
way.
Well,
crazy.
it's a different type of exposure. Like Tom Sloan was like really, I thought was kind of easy.
Oh.
But Tom Sloan does have bad exposure, but it's got a wide enough trail. Some parts of this get really narrow where you kind of cross across.
But
It's
we'll
a
have
good
to stop anyway, right? If there's someone coming up, you'll have to stop anyway.
Yeah, that my part of my point is like you won't have to worry about riding it consistently because there'll be so much traffic that even when I went down it last time during the tourist race, there seemed like hundreds of people going up as I was going down, and they were all walking. So it's gonna be very difficult to climb on a gravel bike less than a mountain bike. So.
Okay, well,
But it is what it is. You know, you got to do what you got to do. So I think it's worth taking your bike up because there are long enough sections that you'll be able to ride. But just really taking it at your own pace and at your own skill level, and if you feel uncomfortable, then walk it.
okay, well,
Zack, your favorite
yeah.
narrow single track and
Big exposure.
big exposure and downhills.
And traffic.
Great helicopter insurance time.
Sounds
I have
great.
to go with the sponsor.
All of my inReach. So.
You better pay the insurance on that inReach so it doesn't cost you $100,000 to get him heli-vaced out of there.
Yeah, exactly. No, the inReach is just for me. I'm not sharing with anyone else.
What's that trail? Tom Sloan?
Yeah.
So someone took a picture of me on that, and it looks like I'm like scaling, like I'm rock climbing. And my wife saw the picture. She said, "Is your life insurance paid up?" I mean, she was totally serious.
Is that the one where we was just hanging off the edge of the cliff, kind of?
Yes, it was like granite. It was like granite faces.
That was kind of gnarly.
That was super gnarly.
That was fine.
Oh, come on, Troy.
All right.
Well, we hit it with a lot of traffic, so you
We
were
did,
probably
but
in and
still,
out of there
even
before we got
if
there.
no one was on it, that was gnarly.
Yeah, that
So-
was pretty crazy.
I wrote it all.
Okay.
No
well,
way. Not with all
I
that
think I
traffic.
passed you guys. You guys were like looking at some corner, and I was like, beep, beep.
Yeah, you did.
And I was on a gravel bike.
You were on your Epic, I thought.
No, I was on my gravel bike because I remember I got a really gnarly flat tire, and that's how you guys got.
Oh,
Talk to
that's
me
the
or
one where you
whatever.
had like 5 plugs in it.
Yeah.
Yep, I remember that.
Okay. Well, Troy, you like this glass half full. Where if you get to there, we're 2/3 of the checkpoint's done. So maybe just for people to have a ray of sunshine from this point.
I think Condor is a really fun trail. So I don't think it's something to be scared of. It's just something that if you are not as experienced on exposed single track, take your time.
Okay. So let's move on to checkpoint, what would be number 5. And the way I have it in here is to actually do the Gold Creek Summit climb, because this would take about 8 miles and add about 500 feet of climbing. And ooh, look at this. Whereas if you kind of went around Tahunga Wash, it saves you about 500 feet of climbing, but it adds 8 miles of riding. But also the good side is a lot of the climbing is paved, except when you get to this last mile. The other advantage is when you kind of come here, Boulder Canyon, once you get to this part right here, and Sam, Troy, Dom, and me, we hiked the bike this a few days ago.
Oh, that was that? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so we did this. Oh yeah, you never did Gold Creek with us before.
No.
But you're gonna have to, if you come around the far way, you're definitely gonna have to cross the creek and then hike a bike here. And then the checkpoint is not too far, but then of course you have to get off and hike a bike and come back. Not too bad. It's really short.
In my opinion, that's a lot of climbing for a book that's essentially at the bottom on the other side.
Yes.
And if you go the other way around through the wash, you get to stop at 7-Eleven twice.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
Times at 7-Eleven.
That sounds good to me.
After Condor, we're going to be hungry and we're going to need water. So I think that's a definite yes.
And climbing all the way up into Sunland to that 7-Eleven, off of Osborne, I don't think is worth it. I think you just cross the wash, cruise across Foothill, my least favorite part of Foothill, and then you hit that 7-Eleven where we met the other day. And I think that's a more intelligent route. Might not be the most ideal in mileage, but
that's the 7-Eleven on Little Tahunga, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a lot of water in that water crossing.
Yeah.
That's going to be deep.
Well,
no, it's not. We went through it the other day. There was nothing.
Really?
Yeah. Really? Isn't as bad?
I rode it.
Even after all the rain, there's no water in it?
No,
There's
I rode
water,
it.
But we didn't. It was actually better than when we did the Send It.
Yeah,
in March.
It was super deep.
So much rain before.
No, there's a little log bridge there, and I just rode through the water though. I didn't use the bridge, and I rode it, and I rode almost up the whole hike-a-bike.
Well, and then also as a note, if you're coming now, I love riding through the Tahunga Wash here. If you haven't rode it before, you might get a little lost in this area, and you might find David Kennedy one day.
He's still there.
He's still there. Yeah. But it'll save you a little bit of mileage, but I don't know how much time it'll save you.
It's in really good shape. It was really fast. I did it when I rode with Sam. On my way to meet Sam, I rode it, and it was probably one of the best it's been.
Okay. So it probably saves you about a mile going through there, but also as another option, if you can't wait for that 7-Eleven, then there's the other 7-Eleven that's right here at Foothill, where the New Year's Day ride starts right over here. Jack in the Box. Oh, there's a Sizzler nearby too. There's also McDonald's, a Burger King,
Starbucks,
a Chipotle.
I was thinking of so if we do that, I was thinking of going to Subway. What I did for that one tourist race, the Falls Creek one. That it was the one. Remember you?
Can we? I'm sorry. Can we please go to the Chipotle?
Well, I was going to bring a sandwich with me in the morning, which I've done for previous tourist races, like a Subway
I always bring a sandwich.
Out of Mount Gleason, but if we're doing this, I could probably make it to.
That's fine, but we're going to need more food. I mean, a sandwich in the morning, that's going to be gone.
I mean, bring it and eat it, bring it in my Camelback. I'll have breakfast, but then eat it on Condor or something.
Right. I get it, but that's not going to be enough for this whole freaking ride.
We'll definitely need to stop at 7-Eleven.
Where is the picnic, and what time are we having this picnic at?
Bringing beer and stuff too. So.
You bringing a blanket?
No.
I was gonna bring chairs. I don't know if that's too much, but.
Isn't there also? There's a taco guy who sets up right here in front of the. Oops, I'm still in the wrong place. It's back here. I'll move that. But there's a guy taco person who sets up there, right in front of the.
He was there in the afternoon when Sam and I went by, but he was not there earlier. So I don't know what time he gets there, but by the time we get there, he'll have been there for hours on end.
Okay. So there's that option. I'll adjust that. So. Is it consensus? We're going to go the long way around, add some miles, and keep it paved. It also gives us the option to quit in a much more elegant way.
Oh, yeah. That's
you can't quit then. You've got the two easiest ones last.
Well, no. Hold on. Let me make an argument for that. Sure, I can.
Well, Zack, show us where's which checkpoint haven't we done? 5 or 4? We haven't.
We've only done 4. So the thing is, these two, which are. Probably about 2 miles apart, mile and a half, probably as a crow flies between the two. So let's assume that I'm changing the route. We're going to go all the way around Big Tahunga where the blue line is. I guess we could do checkpoint 5 first, or this one here, and then it doesn't matter which one you do in whatever order. so this one is pretty. We've already talked about getting to. Looks like it's a little bit off the trail, and this is always the part where I lose momentum. Also, like this is fun downhill. Anyways, let's go back. So this checkpoint here, which, I mean, before I even went on to Strava, ride with GPS, this just looks gruesome. And then the numbers back it up.
It is.
Now, here's the other
going
thing.
That direction, it's tough.
Okay, now this looks like it's people's homes over here.
It's a wedding. They do like weddings there. It's called the Animal. It's that animal place.
Okay. So,
you get a nice top view from it. This has also got a lot of exposure. Those switchbacks are almost unrideable on the way up. Very difficult on the way down. But it's short. I mean, you're maybe a mile in. It's not terribly far. It is terribly steep. So I would do it first. So then you can finish kind of on a high note by rolling off the other one.
I mean, I was serious when I made the video. Like, you should just hike it, right?
I mean, you're going to hike most of it anyways.
Yeah. And plus, like, if like going down it, like, you know, Sam has given me tons of great downhill footage of him like not handling great downhill. So I'm like,
I don't know if you're one to, you know, swing the stick around too far here. We're
it's a economies of scale here. I think
okay.
You know, I look like Danny McCaskill. And here's a question from Matt, and I think this is how about hitting Oro Vista to get there? I think that's a no-go too, right? Because adds elevation. It's a crummy road too.
So I had Oro Vista on my thing to go up this. The fire road to get to the top of this one and then descend into it is almost as steep as this single track. For longer. And the trail is at the top above this book. That trail is got about 30 or 40 water bars in the trail when you're going full speed. Like it is really sketchy.
No.
If you're on a gravel bike.
No.
Ask David how he knows, because I took him on it on a gravel bike and he did not have fun. But on a mountain bike, it's a great time. I ride it all the time on my mountain bike. But
talking Oro Vista.
But Oro Vista takes you up to the top of this. It's that fire road you see right on your map.
Okay, yeah.
So no, I would not do Oro Vista. And if you do Oro Vista, it also would take you a lot of the maps auto route you up Fascination Trail, and don't ever go up Fascination Trail.
Why not? Sounds fascinating.
So I would say going up that and then going back down, whether you walk it, ride it, whatever. The top section after you get up there, you can ride down most of it until you get to the switchback. So it is faster to ride to take your bike if you do. But I'm probably going to do that one before I do the Boulder Canyon one.
Okay.
But that's just a personal. I'd rather get the hard one out of the way and then finish rolling off the fire road on the other one.
Yeah, if there's any valet companies that want to set up shop at the bottom of that climb, you know, I'll pay good money just to watch my bike to go up there.
There's usually at least one random person in their car in that parking lot. They'll watch it for you.
There's nothing down there, so that's the upside. Or maybe someone from the Gold Creek Meditation Center over there can help us out.
The Cultural Center?
Yes. So, I mean, I guess like the good news is from here, it's pretty straightforward, making it back. I mean, we've done this ride many times before to make it back into Burbank, whether it's for a tourist ride or Sweet Salt.
Don't cut through Hanson Dam.
Why not? I did that one time. What?
Don't cut through Hanson Dam. You can ride the bike path through it if you wanted to. It won't save you any time, but don't cut through the off-road parts of Hanson Dam. Because, well, right now, most of it's underwater anyway, so you'll get to the other side, and then you'll be in chest-deep water that's all swampy.
Yeah, and the bridge is a cool look, but it doesn't get you any closer. So, yeah, I agree. And then, I guess a straight shot to Let's Ride Cyclery. And
more.
Yeah, look, I mean, everyone, there's no proper way to do it, and I think that's part of, Mike's plan for this is people debate, and I hope we're not stepping on his toes, trying to tell people where to go, because I think everyone has their own route. But man, do we get a lot of questions about this all the time? And maybe if we did this tomorrow night, we would come to a total different set of ways we would want to handle this, especially if we do some route recon tomorrow. So that's why I feel like
I don't even think we need to. I just saw this dude's post that Sam sent us. He made it through. I'm in. I mean, he
sounds
made it.
good to me.
Exactly.
I don't want to do it twice.
Exactly. I don't need to recon it if this guy already reconned it for me.
Exactly.
He said it might be a little.
He rode for 9 hours. Is he going to do it? The thing on Saturday? He rode for 9 hours today. That's a lot.
Well, Stephanie from Let's Go Ride was out there riding it today, planning on doing the whole thing. So that's a big day.
So I want to know what to wear. What are we wearing? What's clothing wise? Because it's gonna be freezing in the morning.
What's the weather going to be like?
It's gonna be cold as hell in the morning, and then it's gonna get hot like it always does.
It's not going to get hot, is it?
Well, it'll be hot if you have a lot of clothes on.
It'll be like we had on our climb, Sam. It'll be about the same temperature.
Is it going to be windy?
I don't think so. I think originally the wind we got this morning was supposed to come in on Saturday.
Because that was cold when we were
Yeah, but we were only cold on Mendenhall. We weren't cold anywhere else.
Yeah, but our heads were freezing, weren't they?
On Mendenhall, when it was 50-mile-an-hour winds and 24 degrees.
50-mile-an-hour winds. You said it wasn't windy, Sam.
It wasn't until we got to the top.
At the very top.
But yeah, like on the open ridge, it was windy.
Yeah, I think I'm guessing like temperature probably now that it's at 7 a.m. start time, it's probably going to be
40s,
high 30s, 40.
I was going to say, but as soon as that sun comes down, it's also going to drop again. So depending on how long you're going to be out there, you got to think of, also don't want wet clothes in the evening.
Yeah.
So.
I sent my ride to Andrew Holaby, and he plugged it into what's it called here? Epic Ride Weather. And he said, now I gave him the wrong time because I thought we were starting at 8 a.m. But it said the temperature would be, if it started at 8 a.m., feels like between 43 to 57 degrees. So obviously lowered a little bit since we're starting earlier. So yeah, that's why I was asking everybody about should I get thermal bibs, and now it's too late for me to do that.
You don't need thermal bibs.
If you can get a baklava, I would highly recommend it because my head was freezing on Mendenhall, and it was like 50. And
Mendenhall is much higher, and you're on the backside.
True.
But
I didn't have one, and I survived.
True.
Well, I mean, definitely 3 layers for me. I guess I'll bring leg warmers just in case.
I don't like wearing them, but I'm gonna bring them.
Yeah, I'm the same as you.
I'm gonna have a Camelback, so I just stick them in there.
I think knee warmers. I think knee warmers are probably a better choice than full leg warmers. But they're also easier to put on and take off.
That's true. Yeah, you don't have to take your shoes off. Maybe I'll just bring knee warmers.
Thermal jersey or no?
What? Hey Troy, what about knickers and never take them off?
Well, knickers are not as warm as knee warmers usually. So depending on which ones you have, but in my experience, having a leg warmer and then having like your bib short kind of sit over it is a little warmer than having just knickers on by themselves. But that all day wouldn't be bad because you're realistically going to have a high of what, like 60 something. So
Yeah,
it's
I'm
not
not
actually going to be
roasting.
terribly hot. You're just going to feel hot because you'll be in the sun.
Right.
Because Condor is got a lot of exposure in the sun.
It's going to be 45 at the start, though. That's free. I might have leg warmers on at the start. I don't know.
Yeah, but how soon are you going to take them off?
Yeah, don't dress for the first 10 minutes.
Yeah. Embarkation.
Quickly, I just, Sam, I didn't notice the sent this because somebody sent the question about the Grizzly Flat Trail. So just to look, this was Jacob who wrote it today. That's today.
Yeah.
So
Dude,
just
look, you made it. No problem. We're doing it.
So let's see. So he
took his time, but he made it.
So he took him 7:23 to start to go down, and then he landed there an hour 20. An hour 20 to cover 5 miles.
I think we could do full send it, no breaks, and no problemos. I mean, I have done it. I've been down all of it, like the actual downhill part, in like 10 minutes.
Okay. Well, I didn't see on the Strava leaderboard.
Well, this is we're talking about before Stravas, before Garmin's. No, I do have a ride, but I did a little private property riding, so it is not displayed for everyone to see.
I have to delete this whole thing. Thanks, Troy. I'm just trying to see if there's like a segment that kind of coincides.
There is. It's it says Grizzly to river or Grizzly to drop right there. Those are the downhill sections. And like hit Grizzly to river. Yeah. I mean, like fast people are. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I mean, obviously these are probably people on mountain bikes, but
I will also say a lot of those people are normally really fast anyways, but I think the more challenging part will be the bottom through the river area and just making sure you stay on the trail. I think, and he had a comment in there that it was not the easiest to navigate.
Did it say what kind of bike he was riding?
No.
Okay, well, at least he did confirm I'll never ride Dark Canyon again.
Oh.
So please, nobody waste my time on this.
So if he thought Dark Canyon was worse than that, then we're definitely good to go.
Yeah. Okay, it says Grizzly Flat starts out great, but gets rocky and harder to follow closer to the creek at the bottom.
Yeah,
so
that's how it normally is.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I still think that saving 9 miles and all that climbing, you have to a little bit of walking, just make sure you're with people that have good conversational skills. But yeah, and thanks whoever told me to bring the mud guard. I found that, getting ready for that. How much water? Yeah, is there a water crossing there right now?
Yeah, you're gonna have to cross the river a couple of times, but it's not normally too bad down there.
What's not too bad?
The wash down at the bottom of Grizzly is not normally too bad.
No, but what does not too bad mean? Is it like Boulder Creek not too bad?
Yeah. Like, but you'll have to do that like 2 or 3 times rather than just once.
Okay.
Because you kind of are going like along next to it, and there's different ways. Like you can stay up on the shoulder on one and skip one where other people have crossed. It's kind of that like you're going through the wash. But it's not as bad as the other one that we sometimes do off of Oro Vista where it can be really deep. On one of your send-its, remember we went through it and Vic went through it and it was like knee deep, waist deep.
It was above crank deep.
Yeah, it's not normally that bad.
Okay. And if it's just as, like we said, like Boulder wasn't that deep, hopefully the same will hold true there. And there's no cutoff time, is there? Just basically
it's like 7 p.m. I'm reading it. It starts at 7 a.m. Cutoff time is 7 p.m.
Oh, it is.
Now, he told me today in my interview that I did with him that they will be there until the last finisher comes through. So if you decide to go straight home, call them so they're not sitting there waiting for you till midnight. So, but I have been there far past 8 p.m. and there's still people finishing and it's still fun. So there's going to be a fire. There's going to be burgers. So maybe bring a change of clothes and hang out.
So, Bill, you're always pretty well dressed. What are you going to wear?
I'm just gonna wear. Actually, you know what kit is really comfy? I like the Rock Cobbler kit. It's got the pockets on the sides. It's very comfortable. But I'm gonna wear like a thermal base layer and arm warmers, and then I'm gonna bring a shell. I'm gonna wear a shell, and then I can stick it that can fold up and stick it in my Camelback if I get hot, and maybe knee warmers, and some full finger gloves.
Yeah, that's essentially what I'm doing with arm warmers. I'm wearing arm warmers on top of that.
You know, but because last year when we did the mud ride, I actually, even though it was rainy and muddy and cold, I was overdressed. So
we had shorts on.
I had knickers.
You did?
I had knickers and I had my Rafa like rain jacket and then a thermal layer. I got too hot.
I had a rain jacket as well.
Yeah.
I would say definitely bring a jacket, though, because if you are out there past dark, you will want it after being wet all day.
Yeah.
But do you think we're not going to get that wet, are we?
There's no
We'll
rain.
be sweaty wet, not
sweaty wet.
Not stream crossing wet. You'll be sweaty wet.
Well, I mean, I imagine it's either
maybe not you because you do all that climbing, but for us mere mortals that struggle, we'll be wet.
What time is our meetup on Zwift? Saturday? Okay. So just between so we're planning on we're going to not go up Gold Creek. We're going to plan to, I guess we'll figure out soon. We're going to plan to eat somewhere in Sunland, Tahunga.
Chipotle.
Well,
I don't know how you can do Chipotle and eat and continue on the ride.
Yeah.
That is a good point.
Bring.
Chipotle is an after ride thing for me.
I think that's a game time decision. When you're coming off Condor, you see what everyone's feeling, and maybe it's a 7-Eleven hot dog, or it could be a Starbucks run up in Sunland.
Starbucks doesn't really have food though.
They got cookies and brownies and chocolate croissants. Those are all the things I eat from there.
There's a House of Skewers, Sweet Cherry Diner, Panda Express, Los Arcos, Popeyes, Cluckin' Chicken, Shawarma House, Alfred's Pizza, Hell's Kitchen.
Hell's Kitchen?
Have you eaten there before?
I think they have a vegan pizza.
Okay.
You're going to want to eat that and keep riding.
Mountain Bike Ranchside Cafe. Oh, yeah, the cafe next to the 7-Eleven.
Why wouldn't I, Bill? A slice of pizza? I would gobble that down.
Coca-Cola Slurpee at 7-Eleven, man.
I agree with Bill. I can't eat anything big or else I'm gonna get sick.
That's it.
Coca-Cola Slurpee, a hot dog, maybe some Snickers bars and some Skittles, and you'll be good.
Exactly.
God.
Yeah.
You guys eat so bad.
Okay, I just know we're just going to end up the 7-Eleven because we're not going to agree on anything. So let's just do our.
At the end of the day, everything is within like a really small area. There's a grocery store maybe a half mile up the street too. If you really felt like you needed something specific.
There were some guys last year. They had that picnic on top of one of those water cisterns.
Yeah, why
Remember
not?
that?
Yeah,
That's
they
what I
had
said.
the
Who's
bread.
bringing
They
the
had
blanket?
They
had
had
that really good
like
bread.
brie, and they had
Gave
a
us bread.
baguette,
It was great.
and they gave us some in the rain. I mean, yeah, that was wild.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah, that was cool.
Oh
So
my God.
tomorrow, so we're gonna go together to pick up our stuff. Do you want to just meet at your house, Zach?
Sure. Do you want to meet like at 3:00?
I'm good with any time. Yeah, that's fine with me.
Vic?
That's fine.
Okay.
Anyone else in the broadcast? No, just kidding. I'll just jump into the car.
What time?
At the bike shop. I might try to do a little recon tomorrow because I don't have to work tomorrow, so I might try to do that and meet you.
Okay,
Yeah.
because the time is now 7 and not 8. What time are we going to get there?
Ooh.
If you already have your register, 6:30, or if you already have your thing, right?
Yeah, if you already pre-checked.
Yeah, but you want to find a good parking spot. That's always the problem.
Parking's tricky on that.
Yeah.
Side.
I don't have that issues.
Well, you're just gonna ride there anyway, Vic. So what does it matter?
Yeah, why do you care?
I'm not going to ride to the start.
You remember that group that would always ride from Santa Monica to there, and they did that whole Mount Gleason one, and it was like almost 200 miles. They ride every year. There's some UCLA people.
Well, good on them. I'm driving.
Yeah, I'm too old for that.
Yeah, I mean, it takes me a while to wake up.
Yep.
I imagine everyone's going to be fighting for the bathroom over there. So
I'm gonna get there at 6:30.
yeah, I'm going to try and do that. And I'm trying to remember, is there a coffee place right next to it so you can use the restroom?
Next to what?
Let's ride, because I imagine everyone's
He's
going
gonna have 2 or 3 porta potties.
Yeah.
So lovely.
Yeah.
Zach, do you want to answer Melissa's questions? Is the Grizzly Flat Fire Road not an option?
Well, I think that's the option. Well, there's a difference between Grizzly Flat Fire Road and Grizzly Trail. The way we have it, the way we have is you go up Angels Crest Highway, and then you go up Hoyt Mountain, which, like in our videos, we kind of refer that as Grizzly Flat Fire Road. But it's Hoyt Mountain until you get to the turnoff to the Grizzly Flat Trail, which we've never ridden, but what we will do. But then turns into the other way swings up to Grizzly Flat, where it connects to Mount Lucans truck trail, and it's only about 2/3 of a mile from the checkpoint there. So I guess we will be. We're either way. You're going to have to be on Grizzly Flats to get to that checkpoint. The question is the trail, and I know a couple people have asked that question, and yeah, I guess we're aiming to do the trail, do the hike a bike across the river, still save us time, and
Jonathan just said that Steph only got 4 books today.
Oh no.
She was also going clockwise from the looks of the video I had seen. I have not seen her ride, but I think she was going the opposite direction of us.
And why is that? Did she give up? Did she run out of light? Did she run out of food?
I have no idea. It just says got 4 books today, which, to be honest, that's like a normal LA tourist. That's crazy difficult.
Yes.
So, congratulations to doing that. But that's a big day, especially with how windy it was today. Yes. I bet you a couple of those canyons were ripping.
Okay, so then let's just settle this. Okay, we already said we're not going to do the Gold Creek climb, but somehow we're still going to do the Stowe Canyon climb at the very beginning.
No, I thought you guys were going the other way. You guys are doing Latuna to Latuna.
Okay, yeah, I'm down with that. Great. All right, well, I'll go update the map. Is there anything else I'm missing, Bill?
I would say I personally make separate little maps from one book to the other so that you get like you finished your ride when you're at the book. So you don't go past it, so you don't miss it, all of those things. And then I load the next section. that's a trick that I have had, just because some of the mapping, depending on which computer you have, doesn't always give you the notification right away or in the right spot. So it's kind of an easier way to segment out your ride and make sure you stop at the right spot.
That's a great point, because I rode right past one of the books, and
Yeah,
luckily
remember
somebody
Yeah.
I knew was there.
Yeah, the guy said, "Hey," as we're riding past.
Yes, remember that, Bill?
Yeah.
The guy from the UK, I think.
So
Yeah.
I'll do like from the start to the first book is 1, and it'll say, "Oh, you finished," right? And you're literally should be in front of the book. And then I'll start the next one. So it takes a little more time while you're out there, but it's only a few seconds, and it can save you like a half hour if
You
you
just
pass
have them set up as separate courses on your bike computer, and you just start the next one.
Yep.
That's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
So that's just a trick that because Ride with GPS is kind of good because you can make separate little points, but they don't always load on all computers. And so it was a trick I had when I was switching between Wahoo and Garmin and a Brighton or something.
Right.
At one
What are you
point.
using now?
Yeah, what are you using tomorrow?
Tomorrow I'm gonna use a Garmin because my Wahoo is broken, and I donated my Brighton to some other rider. So I have a Garmin currently, and it's the only one that lasts more than like 6 hours.
I have a Roam. It lasts a long time. It lasts like 17 hours.
My problem is I plug them in and just never unplug them until I'm going to go on my next ride. And when you only ride like once a week, then it kills the battery.
Yeah.
I don't recommend doing that.
No.
Oh, I'm gonna bring an extra SRAM battery.
Yeah, you just remind me. I just charged mine up, so
Can't hurt. They're tiny.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring an extra battery pack. It's got USB connection on there. Since most of my stuff all has USB-B.
That's probably a good idea.
I'm not bringing my drone. Don't need the extra weight.
You won't have any time for that.
I will not want to pull it out.
No.
So to make you guys feel better, we'll not be doing that. I probably will try and shoot a video, but riding is the most important part. Do not have a rear light, I think, right now. I have to go locate one. For me, I'm going to do the same thing where I've got the two water bottles on the side, coasters on the side, one of these big Roadrunner bags on the front. And, I also got...
Try to keep the weight off your bars, though, Zach. You always have too much weight over your bars, and it sends you all wiggly wobbly on the technical stuff.
Yeah, I also got a frame bag from Maverick Cycles, which I am trying to see. Like,
I have a light for you.
Huh?
I have a light for you.
The only downside to a frame bag is that if you are going to have some bike carrying,
you
not
can't
just
get your
like
hand in
pushing, it is very difficult to carry your bike with a frame bag.
It sucks.
Sam.
It sucks.
That's a good point. You're not gonna take your frame bag, Vic?
I have mine is a little triangle, and that's better, but it's still not optimal.
You can do the like full suspension mountain bike thing where you put it on your back and like tire side to side, but it makes you really wide.
Makes it hard to handlebar bag then.
Well, I also have a top tube bag here. I haven't used yet. Maybe
I would say top tube bag is what I have, and that's more ideal if you're gonna need to carry your bike.
Okay.
And they're much easier to get stuff out of your top tube bag.
Okay. Yeah, because I might still take the bigger bag, but like I want to keep. Well, if we're going to not do maybe I can just get away with 3 bottles. If we're not going to do the Gold Creek climb after Lucans.
I'm going to have 2 bottals and a pack.
Yeah, me too.
2 bottles. Same here. 2 bottles and a pack.
Mm-hmm.
The Camelback lasts a long time.
Yeah.
I don't like the weight on my back.
I like it. It's like someone's giving me a nice hug.
Yeah.
Wow. No, I've never heard that.
But I'll be there.
Oh no.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right, guys. Well, I guess we'll see you tomorrow.
Reconnoiter
And,
tomorrow.
Maybe we'll talk a little quickly offline here about possible recon, but otherwise, great conversation.
Yeah, thanks.
And have fun
Thank
on
you, Troy.
Saturday. Have fun on Saturday.
Thank
Yeah.
you, guys.
Thanks.
Were you gonna say, Vic?
No, I was saying thanks, Troy, for all the tips and
Yeah.
tricks.
Thank you, Troy.
Yeah.
You guys were frozen there for a second, but yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Saying thanks.
We had to repeat it. All right. Okay. Thanks everyone for checking in. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.